Hello, everybody, and welcome
Hello.
to the show. And welcome, Bill from Tools of Fortune. It's wonderful to have you here. Oh, there
Yeah,
you go. Yeah.
I
Nobody
got my
here
lights
just
on
yet,
now.
but we're just going to start talking in a few minutes and get some folks coming in. And I'm so glad to have you. And Bill is also the channel owner of the 999 show. And so I'm going
Yes.
to have him talk about that for a minute or two and then explain how he got involved in opening this new channel, what brought him here, and so forth. So go right ahead, Bill, and tell us about the 999 show. Yeah.
Well, that kind of began well, I have had a love affair of talk radio that goes way, way
Oh,
back
okay.
to it, or if I go back even further when I was growing up and my dad got angry that I was watching TV all the time and threw the TV out the back door, because you
Oh, dear.
live out in the rural areas. Well, why isn't he out hunting and hiking and fishing and doing all this stuff that I did? Because he grew up
Right.
in Portland, and then he come moved down to the rural areas. Why doesn't like that? And it's like, oh, Bill just wants to watch TV or read books or do stuff like that. Well, my dad was a physicist and
Oh,
and
okay. Yeah,
an
that
engineer
makes sense. Yeah.
and and then but anyway, so then his sister felt sorry for me, and she would send these cassette tapes with old time radio shows on them.
Oh,
And
wow.
so that kind of was getting to audio dramas and so forth. And then
Yeah.
I was I really didn't start really watching TV until I was like in my on a regular basis, like until almost I was 30 years of age.
Oh,
And
wow.
and so
Okay.
there was like
Yeah.
this love affair, and then the with the talk radio, it kind of began with the Art Bell show and listening
Uh-huh.
to
Yes.
late night, with that. And then,
Yes.
because I was kind of
Yep.
dovetailed right in there with like being a teenager and reading von Daniken's Chariots of the Gods, and then having grown
Yeah.
up in a liberal Lutheran church, and but then being kind of reactionary or contrarian sometimes, and then people coming in with their evangelizing me, or because I just
Oh,
you're kind of like want to keep to yourself, and
yeah, yeah, I
and,
hear
and,
you.
and when you're kind of middle of the road in your religious path, and you're not on an
Right.
extreme, you're not, and
Yeah.
you just want to please leave me alone. And so then I would like maybe come up with think, oh yeah, okay, they're gonna try to get me this time. And so go into a conversation with him and said, God might be an alien. Did you know that? Something like that. And then I said, here, why don't you? And then and I would go to like these
Mhm.
used bookstores, and I would get copies of Chariots of the Gods for like 10, 15 cents a piece. And I'd buy like 30 of them. And then I would hand them out like religious tracts when people, would do this, and,
That's
and,
so
you know,
great. I love that. Yeah. Yeah.
so that was like
Uh-huh.
in my earlier times. And then so
Mhm.
I liked the Art Bell show,
Mhm.
and then as it evolved into like Coast to Coast, and trying to catch that all the time. And then
Yeah.
so that's kind of
Yeah.
how things
Okay.
went in wanting. And then I had like a in college, there was one of my classmates who said, "Oh, Bill, you have a radio voice." And I'm thinking, "Oh, you have
Yeah.
a," and so I was thinking, well, so that's kind of how that
I
happened.
see.
Now,
Mhm.
I 999 show was not my first YouTube channel. I actually had
Okay.
two previous ones where I have multiple unwatchable videos on there.
Okay.
things that,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyways, and then so how that happened was like 2021. I started seeing angel numbers all the time, and it
Okay.
sort of pulled me out of this place. And then I got this sense, well, I think I want to try YouTube again. I had tried it and didn't get much, didn't get anywhere with it. And so that's where the 999 came from. But I was like going through the list. I really kind of wanted it to be maybe a more positive angel number, but all of those were hijacked by the 700 Club or
Okay.
some other kind of like associated with right wing evangelicalism, and so I just kind of skipped over it. Well, no one's claimed like a 999 as a, and so I claimed that, and that's how that
Oh,
happened. That's why that was. And so
uh-huh.
my first episodes were very much like something more topic driven
Mhm.
and stuff like that. And I was writing scripts and doing
Wow.
voiceovers and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
then in so that was like September 9th. My first episode I uploaded was on September 9th at 9 p.m. 999. I just kind of made it
Yeah.
like that.
Okay.
And then around my next birthday, which was in March, following that, I got COVID, and then
Oh,
I lost my voice. I
oh,
couldn't I
yeah.
couldn't talk for more than I couldn't talk for more than like 45, 50 seconds without my, and
Wow.
and it took like 6, 7 months to recover my voice so I could talk for hours, and
Sure.
then I was like my mother got it at the same time because I take care of her. Or
Mhm.
I really kind of started after that point in time, and because she was in the hospital with COVID too, and I was talking
Oh.
with my aunt,
Mhm.
and um and she was talking about her grandmother who a Swedish immigrant who um read tea leaves, and she read playing cards.
Okay.
She read people's
Cool.
fortune, and
Yeah.
so that
Yeah.
gave this. Was thinking about at that point in time doing tarot, but that gave me like I was getting permission from an ancestor that
Yeah.
gave me permission to do this,
Mhm.
and then I did it. I ordered I was like looking about what kind of tarot deck should I
Mhm.
get, and then when I ordered, I was like, I didn't really like it, and then it had a bad smell, and when I would like shuffle it, it still has a bad smell. I mean, it's like,
Hmm.
and I would shuffle it, and it would just trigger migraines. And then I got
Oh,
another one, but
yeah.
but nevertheless,
Wow.
that's how my journey
Yeah.
with the tarot
Wow.
began. But
Okay.
then a lot of it too was wanting, um because as a poet writer, as a writer, I was looking for an easy way to get content.
Sure.
I had no idea. I had no idea. I had no idea
Mhm.
how the journey that I would be going on when I picked up that first tarot deck. Prior to
Wow.
picking up that first tarot deck, I was thinking in terms of, okay, well, this can maybe be like easy content. I can,
Mhm.
throw these cards down on the table and make up some story or whatever, blah 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 blah.
Uh-huh.
And that was
Uh-huh.
that was what, but that's not what happened. That's
Okay.
not what happened. That way, so I ended up on this journey, and then things evolved, and then that summer, um, I did nothing but short form content for like until my voice recovered,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
and then I gained like zero watch time because you don't get any watch time from short form
Yeah.
content,
Right. Right.
and but I gained like 500 subs.
Oh, good.
Yeah, yeah, that was
Wow.
like that was like
Yeah.
that was how that happened. So somewhere around that 400 or 500 subs, and
Okay. Yeah.
then I gained my voice back. Then I started thinking, well, I was like doing stuff out in the garage, and then it was getting cold. And I needed to come in the house, but then I think, well, at this point in time, I was doing this show, and I hadn't yet told anybody that I was doing the show, or with mother who I was taking care of it about it. And so I needed to do something that was quiet. So I was thinking,
Hmm.
well, I need to do something quiet that I. And so I started doing more quiet content,
Hmm.
and then things evolved, and then I started doing live streams, and then the camera that I was filming videos on, it broke, and then I went to
Hmm.
doing content on my phone,
Uh-huh.
and then that's kind of how that happened, and then uh,
So is this for this channel, the Tools of Fortune, or for the other
no,
channel?
it's
No.
for the
Okay.
other for
For the
999 show.
999 show. Okay.
This
Okay.
one came about is because I got this great idea for a channel name, and so rather than and then I also just wanted to do, and so I sat on the name for like a year, and I didn't tell
Oh,
anybody about it because that's the because
yeah.
the competitive nature of everything. You don't want to like um
Yeah, I don't
let
want to
go
lose
of
it. Yeah.
loose
Yeah.
things, and so I didn't mention anything about Tools of Fortune until
Mhm.
I turned the channel on. Until
Uh-huh.
I set it up and started the channel. And so this Tools of Fortune is a straight divination channel. I do mostly, I mean, tarot, and I do oracle, and
Hmm.
one of the oracles that I use is this Sunday Missal,
Ooh, I never seen that.
and
That's cool. Yeah.
I have I use to get the page number. I have these two tops. One of them
Uh-huh.
has like 1, 2. I should have put a 0 in there, but if it lands someplace between 9 and 1, it's a 0. And
Okay.
then so I get my digits, and this one goes up from 1 to 15. And so I
Okay.
get and it goes, and there's like 1,500 pages in this book, and so I get my digits, and then I use that, and I look at the page, and so sometimes maybe it applies to a person, sometimes it doesn't. But
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
because not every page, but like the pages that tend to apply most to people when they land on them are things like you know Jesus getting whipped at the pillar, because you can relate that to because that's how sometimes you feel in life. You feel like you're being whipped like a
Yeah.
dog, and
Yeah. Like
you know,
life can do that. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and so I
Hmm.
don't know, that's just like as a so I kind of see this as like an oracle deck, but it's kind of
That's cool.
like
Yeah.
another oracle deck, which is the very first oracle deck that I created out
Oh, you
of.
created one too? Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
this is made out of losing scratch tickets.
Okay.
And so it's a words,
Yeah.
and so this one, and so like each card is numbered, so I'll use either run in there and maybe an energy like sometimes I relate it to tarot cards or whatever. Everything
Yeah.
kind of dovetails together. And but this is a real kind of a harder. They're both really kind of hard to use because you have to be open. You have to be really, really open for them to work,
Okay.
and you have to be open to a story, to be open to for whatever is there. And then if you're not really open, then you won't really hear anything at all. And so it kind of goes back to when I was writing cross out poetry and other kinds of where you go into a piece of literature or something, and you
Hmm.
cross out all the words you don't like, and then but
Oh,
you see,
that's a new one. Yeah.
and that method of writing also doesn't work if you're closed,
Not
or if
open.
you're
Yeah.
emotionally compromised or something like that.
Sure. Sure.
Or,
Yeah.
it doesn't work, and because you're not open to hear a story. And
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
And yeah,
Well, that's a lot like a lot of people will say that there's a book you can, and give me a chapter or give me a page number. And then do you want the first or second paragraph or whatever? And that's the message. And that's kind of what you're saying. And you have to be open to that. That's going to give you the answer. So
yeah.
pull one for me. Pull one for me. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Yeah.
Okay. Do you
Mhm.
want me to go with the missile, or do you want me to go with
Go with the ones that you did that you just said.
okay.
That one. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. All right.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to shuffle these cards, and I want you to tell me when to stop shuffling.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm kind of shuffling through.
Okay. Stop.
All right. There's three words that kind of pop out.
Okay.
The first one's awake, like
Uh-huh.
needing to be awake in this moment. But at the same
Okay.
time, you're carrying around a lot of excess cargo. And
Okay.
maybe that's something
Mhm.
that you may need to let go of.
Uh-huh.
And another word is like echo.
Okay. Mhm. Wow.
And and also to have the wisdom to know what to let go of and what not to let go of, because some of those things have a way of coming back at you.
Yep. They do. Yeah. No, that really resonates. And the other thing there's several things about the awakening that you first said. And the first thing is that the other night I was awake all night. I couldn't sleep. Okay. And I did
Mhm.
have a lot of cargo, a lot of things on my mind, a lot of things that I needed to release, some of them physical, some of them spiritual. And I guess the word echo is really good. What it tells me is that I say those things to other people all the time, that you need to let go of something, but who needs to hear it the most? Me. I need to,
Yes.
what I say, my words. And so I need to have the wisdom to understand that what I say, I must also do. So that's
So then,
very profound. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then the number that's associated with this is
Mm.
12.
Okay.
And so if
Which
you
is
look
a
at like the
3.
number one beginning, and so you are letting go of things and you are starting kind of fresh, you're starting new, and then you're having to be able to rebalance your life to
Right. Right.
begin something new and to rebalance your life, and then with that to gain a new sense of an expression of yourself.
Yes. Yes. Wow. Very profound. Very profound. And, sometimes it's important for us to just listen. And then it could be that it doesn't make any sense, but it starts to make sense later. And you
Yes.
go, oh, that must be what Bill was talking about. So
Yeah.
I love it. And you love words, and I can tell. And so, yeah, that's beautiful.
Well,
I
and
love.
that's also why I tend to use this apprentice tarot, because it has the words
Yep.
on it. And now
Yep.
when I in looking at it in just the little bit of time that I've been in the tarot,
Uh-huh.
I don't necessarily I my opinions on like beginning tarot decks and whatnot is I don't think that these are beginner tarot decks at all. The
Uh-huh.
ones with the words on them, because if you don't really have the knowledge about the tarot going into it, then none of those keywords are going to make any sense.
Sure. Yep.
Anyway,
It makes,
that's
yeah. No, I like that. That's awesome. That's perfect.
yeah.
Well, I like that you do all these different types of things. And I'm going to say, so we have one person with a question that both of us can answer. And I'm going to say use whatever spirit tells you to use. If it tells you to use this deck or that deck or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's see what we can come up with. She wants to know if she's going to get her own home in the near future. And Linda, I'm going to say within 6 months, because that would be the near future. Of course, timing is really difficult to figure out. But let's go with your question here and see what we get. Yeah. Thank you for the question. All right.
Near future. I'm going to write that down. All right.
Oh, wow. So I'm going to tell you what I have, and then Bill can give his impressions to you. The first card I pulled was a clock. What does that tell you? That's timing, right? It's all about timing, Linda. It says that when the time is right, you are going to be successful because the crown comes next. And you know that when you're the queen, you are in charge of your own fate. It's saying that you will have success and victory, and you, as long as you believe you can rule your own world, and that's really all we can rule to a point, because we make the decisions. But there's going to be some good ideas or realizations that will come to you that might point you in the direction you need to go. For instance, programs that you might be able to use to get loans or down payments or other things. I think that those are going to be coming up for you. And when they do, you will have a sudden realization and maybe be able to go ahead. I did that back in 2010. I found a program that I could go through that gave me partial down payment, and it was a good rate, everything, and I didn't even know it existed, and that helped me. But it took me a little bit of time to then move from that to find the right house, to find the mortgage, but I think it looks pretty good, Linda. Yeah. All right.
Now, when you said near future, I'm not so sure that
it's kind of an ambiguous word, because the near future might not be to you.
Future. Because if it's like within the next 6 months, I would have to say the cards are saying that you're not going to get it within the next 6 months.
Okay,
but
that's fine.
That's kind of what a sense, in a sense that that the sense I'm getting here is that maybe you try it too soon. Maybe it's that it's wishful thinking to begin this process of buying a home right now. And also there is the economy, and what we don't really know what the economy is going to do in the next few months. Now maybe you're selling a home, or you're trying to get in a home, but if you wait a little bit, it makes you hold on to that money.
True.
You hold on to that money, and if you have a money for a down payment, by all means, lock that stuff up into a CD of some kind of a thing. And also, you really don't know, because we don't know what the economy is going to do with the tariffs and with everything. It
That's true.
may not because what I see is a lot of illusion, a lot of wishful thinking, and just sort of a overall sort of a kind of like a gloomy outlook. That's just the best. That's what I could.
Well,
I don't
this
know.
is what the energy is. The energy today that you see. Yeah.
The energy
it might be. Yeah. And it might be that this is what my cards were saying too, that you need to get your ducks in a row and check out what prices are. But they did just drop the interest rate. So hopefully that will be good. But under this administration, I agree with Bill on that. We don't know what's going to happen. And
essentially it's like it's a bit of like a disharmony. what I see it as is
Hmm.
there's a
Hmm.
lack of for right now, there's a lack of harmony, and so it may be just best to wait a little bit and get like you say, get the money in the bank, to get that money and get it locked down so that
Hmm.
you don't have access to it, so that it's like something come it were let's say if they get, I recommend in saving money to, to put it, if you're locking it down, go get some financial products. Maybe they roll over every 90 days, like a
Yeah, then
time
you're not
deposit
stuck.
or a
Yeah,
CD. Yeah, so and if it's
right,
several $1,000s, 10,000, $20,000, you wanna make sure that you don't have easy access to that.
right.
And the best way to do that is to use those tools that are available to you that can
Yeah.
uh yeah, so that you don't end up in some kind of a heartbreak situation here.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. Thank you, Linda. Um,
yeah.
Start teach. I don't think it's discouragement from getting a home. I think you just need to um, plan a little bit more. That's kind of what Bill has said
Well,
too.
in a sense, is that you need to develop a clear plan about
Uh-huh.
a clear plan of action, because that's really what the outcome of this is that
Right.
you are getting ready to leave your comfort zone and move into a new reality, and so you have
Yep.
that world in your hands. Everything is
Hmm.
there, and all you just got to do is spend time over there and not spend too much time thinking about illusionary things, and that's kind of what I get. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
All right.
good. That sounds wonderful. So our next question is from Terry Mullins. Will my trip to Illinois for Thanksgiving be trouble-free? Okay.
Okay.
I always watch planes, trains, and automobiles on Thanksgiving, and that was not
Oh,
trouble-free.
well, every time before I go take a trip, I watch that movie.
Do you? I love that.
I
Yeah,
love that movie. Yeah.
me too. Me too.
Yeah.
All right.
Leap of Faith too. Leap of Faith is a great film.
Yes.
All right. I
All
got
right.
the
Let's see.
question on the screen, so Terry.
So I am going to use the Osho Zen deck, which I love. And what I've got here is I've got um, it's hard to see, but you can see that it's a trapeze artist. And there's another artist that's hands are reached out to grab the other, because they're going to swing together on this trapeze. So I'm seeing, it says totality. And so I'm seeing that you're going to have some up and down because that's what a trapeze artist does. But that's when you get together anyway with people or family over a holiday. I don't care who you are. There's always someone that's a little troublesome, and I don't think it's you. I think you're holding on and the others are just showing up. And it says, but trust that this will be all well. Look at her. She's just jumped off a cliff and is flying through the air. So you make the difference in the way you feel, and you should feel as though this is going to be a wonderful experience for you. Don't let anybody else poo-poo on that. The last thing I have is receptivity. I think whoever you're going to see or whatever you're going to do is excited that you're coming and is receptive to having you. This almost looks like it's a lotus with lots of different, it almost looks like a person's rib cage and everything complete, but they want you to know that the people that you're going to see, right, will be a receptive reunion, or if you're going for some other reason, it's going to be a good reception for you. Not worried about the people? Okay. Oh, you're taking the City of New Orleans train? Oh, wow.
Okay, so
I love that. I do. Riding on the City of New Orleans.
Okay. So ultimately, what I see is you're going to have a great time. You're going to have a good time. We've got
Oh, yeah.
have a sense of goodness. This is a good time that
Hmm.
you're going to have. However, there is going to be some bumps on the road in a sense of like kind of some feelings of like being stuck, maybe stuck in place. Like maybe you may be having, you may have to limit your speech. You may not be free to speak your mind. Maybe it might be your crazy uncle who's really deep into the politics one way or the other, or someone, and then you don't want to like make too many waves, so you might have like
Hmm.
this sort of a reversing tower experience, or not feeling like you're being slammed up against a wall here, and so to try to avoid feeling like you got to jump out the windows or whatnot, and you know and so you may have some issues
Hmm.
with your family there, and then a little bit of hot-blooded conversations with this Knight of Wands, and it's not going to be trouble free, but you're going to have a great time, and that's it. Just kind
Yep.
of be in the experience of it, and
Hmm.
just be aware of flaring tempers, maybe your own flaring temper or whatnot. So
Hmm.
so that
Wow.
you're not blowing up at your whoever it is that might be there, who will feel like you need to be bound into yourself,
Uh-huh.
and
Wow.
you know or in the sense of being untethered from reality, and so how those family conversations can sometimes get that way,
Hmm.
but then
Yeah.
again,
Yep. You
there's
make you a good
there's
time, though.
always
She's going to make
this
her
sense
own
of
good
being,
time. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
always this sense that you
Yeah.
you you
That's
will have a
perfect.
good time,
You
and
will. Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm. Awesome.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting, first of all, I'm so excited you're bringing your Arlo Guthrie um, songs with you as you ride on the city of New Orleans. And but I don't know how long it takes from where you live to get there. Sometimes those delays. I know there are some trains that stop like every 30 miles or every 15 miles, and they embark or debark or embark or debark. I don't know what the word is, but that can be frustrating sometimes when you want to make time. But at the same time, it's an adventure. So I hope it sounds
yeah.
like it's going to go well. So,
I
all
remember the
right.
first time I rode a train, and I was traveling from McMinnville to go visit a buddy up in Seattle. I took the train,
Okay.
and the
Yeah.
train, and it got just out of Portland, and the train, it like hit a cow or something like that, and then it was
Oh,
shut.
no.
It was like yeah, hit a cow on the tracks,
Poor
and then it
thing.
was like stopped for like 2 or
Yeah,
3 hours, and then
sure. They had to
this
clean
was
things up. Yeah.
yeah, and this was in
Wow.
the days before cell phones, and so it's like
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
you
Sure.
know
Sure. Wow. 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 Wow.
so
That's
will
amazing.
your refinance go? Okay,
Yeah.
refinancing.
So, um, I'm going to ask you this question. It's kind of offhand, Juniper. Did you have to lock in a rate? Because sometimes you have to pay to lock in a rate so that if it goes you won't have to, they'll keep you at the other rate. Anyway, um, I'm getting here. There is risk and reward. That's the only reason I say this. In other words, if you get close to a closing date and a refinance, I've done them. I used to be a loan officer back in the day, and I've also done refinances of my home. There are things they ask for in a refinance that are just as invasive and crazy that they ask in a regular loan. So I'm just asking that question as a way of letting you know. The second one, though, I get is that I got the rose and it's blossoming. So that to me means yes. I just don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know how long you've been in this process. So, and it says here that you got the world globe. It's like getting the world, and the world globe says wholeness and completion. So I would say, yes, it will. It may take some time, or there may be some kind of risk or reward that you'll have to, a hoop you have to jump through, perhaps, is the best way to say it. Yeah. Okay. Oh, you're doing a streamline. Oh, that's really, that makes me happy. Good. Yeah.
So for the most part, what I see here is that this will work. It will go through, but there is some questionability to it. So it's not a hard yes, it's a soft yes. So and so a sense that um there you have to be aware of any deception in this process. And but there is also in a sense of also be aware of maybe an unsatisfactory result, which could be, you know, in the process of doing this refinancing. And then but overall there it's pretty much gonna go with a fair amount of harmony. It's not going to be, it'll be kind of a harmonious sort of a process. It'll just kind of move on down the process, and without too many hitches, other than the fact is that of those things that I said, there's some dissatisfaction, but it may not manifest the way you envision it's going to manifest. And that's kind of what I see.
Okay. Okay. I know that I have a kind of an interesting story to tell you, Juniper. I had a person, they wanted to buy like a duplex, but it was up and downstairs. And the upstairs they had put in a whole kitchen, and there is a bathroom up there, but they put a whole new kitchen in. And they went to sell the house, and the kitchen wasn't approved for that particular house. And so they had to rip out the kitchen and do it as a single family. And then once they sold it, it was unbelievable. But sometimes they come up with these, or they'll say, like, if it's a home inspection, oh, there's a crack on the concrete, or whatever it is, and you just don't expect it. And I, as a loan officer, would only get paid if closings happened. And I remember thinking, oh my God, this isn't worth it. For the people too, because the people would get mad at me, not the guy that's doing the appraisal, you know. But I think you're going to be A-okay. So I think, you know, you'll eventually get this. And thank you. Yeah. All right. Very nice. All right. So Lulu, will the person trying to profit from my dad's passing be successful or give up? That's kind of a third-party reading. I can read the energy around the situation. In other words, how it's going to affect you, or how it is. But I can't really read for the person another person outside. But let's see what we can come up with.
Okay.
All right, so that's the solution. Let's see what the other cards say.
All right, let's just see. I've been successful. Give up.
I don't get an answer from those. Let's see what else I got here. Okay, this is better. Okay, so let me give you what I got, which is more you than this person, okay? The first thing I got was there will be a breakthrough. whatever that breakthrough is. In other words, I don't know if it'll be for you, because we are reading for you. So I think a breakthrough comes for you. And that might mean that the other person may have a difficult time being successful. The second one I get is source. So the source is your dad's. It's your dad's money, or it's your dad's. It comes from your dad, and the source is there. So what I'm going to say is, because the next card is so important, the source means also to go back to affirmations and beliefs that things will be better as you want them to be, and look at the whole thing positively, instead of shooting darts in the mind to the other. Think of this instead, because the message is, I am light. The light within me shines brightly, surrounding me and protecting me. This is for you. I remain joyful and radiant no matter what the circumstances are. Like a diamond, I reflect my true splendor and embrace my worthiness. It's like this is a protection card. They are highlighting you. They are, and it's so interesting because this is like the sun. You are being spotlighted at this point. I'm thinking that that is successful more for you than the other. But this is the current energy as well, Lulu. So sorry, I can't really give you what the other person, well, still, oh, okay. So that would be you and your brother then, totally, that reading was for. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Well, what I'm getting as far as the total energy surrounding this question is one of paranoia, and sort of either being paranoia in a sense that there's a lot of thought that may be completely untethered in reality.
Mm-hmm.
And because like you don't really know what's going on in this other person's head, and so you are
True.
just are completely generating information. You have no facts unless you actually go and talk to a person. You're gonna, if you want to really know, you're going to have to actually talk to this person. Otherwise, you're sitting in this place where you're spinning lies in your head, and it's just nothing but conflict and
Yeah, we could be our own
conflict.
worst enemy. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
conflict, or just kind of getting caught up in this storm of of a storm of lies. And that's kind of what I see. But I also see, like what it said, that there's this sort of this Ace of Pentacles kind of a thing coming
Oh.
through. And for the most part, all the cards were pretty negative, but this was the only positive one, that maybe there is a
Mhm.
positive and a positive outcome to this thing. But
Yeah,
mainly you gotta stop spinning those lies in your head, or whatever
yeah.
you got going on in there. You gotta stop that.
Mhm.
And because you
Send her a whole
without
bunch of love. Send this person
yeah
love. Yes.
yeah
Mm,
yeah so
mhm.
so
Yeah.
anyways, that I hope that helps. But
Yeah.
so it's just a matter is that being in that place, it's kind of like itching powder.
Mhm.
And you're just
Mhm.
you're just kind of like in a high anxiety place, or where you feel like
Yeah.
you have to put up walls around yourself, and
Mhm.
to protect yourself from this situation. And also, it's really hard, because when someone just passes away, you're raw for like 2, 3, 4 years afterwards,
You are.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
or and sometimes even longer.
Even longer. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but but
That's
anyway,
true.
that's
Yeah. Anyway, I love that you pulled the Ace of Coin. Oh my goodness. It's like an offer is coming. So that's really
yeah.
good. Yeah. Thank you. All righty. So we have one more here, Erin Marie. Can you tell me how soon I'll be able to find a job in web development? Well, we can't give you like 2 weeks from now or that timing is very, but we can look into the possibility of you getting this
Yep.
job. We can do that. Yep.
Right.
Thanks,
Will
everybody.
you? I think we can
Mhm.
rephrase the question as, will I be able to find this job?
Yeah. Will I be able to find
Yeah.
a job in web
Will.
development?
Will.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing, Erin Marie, is you need to start saying the affirmation, I already work at a job in web development. Because you have to, when you're working with um, wanting something and affirming that you believe that you want it to happen, you have to believe it's already happening, and it really works. So let's see again. Oh boy. Ooh, I like the cards. I got the clock again. There's the timing. You know, when the time is right, this is going to come to you, which I don't know how long it will take. But if you're out there doing the work and you're sending your resumes or you're talking to people, there's going to be somebody that's going to pick up your resume or pick up your name and say, I want to talk to her because I got the microphone. And the microphone is somebody will be ready to communicate with you. Okay. And we're talking about this topic. So it's about that. It says that you need to be a little more assertive, and that there's a difference between assertion and being aggressive. It's nothing to do with aggressive. You send a resume to XYZ company, and then you wait about 2 or 3 days and you call and you say, did you receive my resume? I'm wondering if we can set up an appointment. I could come in and meet with you. So it's like that. That's what I mean by assertiveness, following up. If you have a meeting with somebody, send them a note or an email and say, I really enjoyed talking with you about this job and I'm excited about it. Let them know you're really interested. That's what this is saying. And if you do this, you got the horse, which is determination. Be determined to find the job that's already there for you, and don't worry about asking for it. You have to sometimes say, this job really, really sounds like one that I would excel at, and I want this job. There you go.
Hmm.
Hi, Maureen. Hi, Leah.
Okay. So what I got on it is it is that eventually, yes, you will get a job, but it's not a hard yes. It's a soft yes. So there's a possibility that it won't happen now. It won't happen in the timelines that you want it to happen.
That's true sometimes. Yep.
And so what may be coming at this in this way is that you have choices you need to make, and there'll be a lot of instability here. I see some instability in the near, as far as this. There's a lot of like two energy here, and being in balance and out of balance, and then a need to make a transition. So you have to, in letting go. So in this process of finding this job, you may be needing to retune your resume, and to look at things
True.
differently,
Mm-hmm.
and so um and make difficult choices for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and then know that in this process it may be very tiring to get to this place where you want to be at. And you need to also be aware that that you could be making some bad decisions along the way, and so you have to be mindful of the decisions that you are making in this process. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I see what I see kind of overall is a sense that there is the manifestation of this thing happening, but you're out of balance,
Yep.
and
You
you have
might
to
have to try a
rebalance.
different way. Yeah.
You have to rebalance yourself. You have to rebalance the equation,
Hmm.
and you may have to take a different track to get there. So you may have to accept a different job first before you get
Yeah, that can happen too.
get to
Yeah.
this one. Yeah.
Yeah. I've done that so many times. It's depressing. You want to do X, and then Y comes in and says, I can start you tomorrow. And you go, oh, don't really want to do that, but I need the money. So that's what I've
Yeah.
done. But once
Yeah.
you have a job, Erin Marie, it's so much easier to find a job than if you have no job and you're trying. But yeah, get yourself some assertion in there, girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Does anybody else have any questions or would like a reading before we I could probably take another one before we're done if anybody's interested. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going like really fast.
Yes, you
This is like
are. You
it's
do.
like
Yeah.
speed reading. So
It's like speed
yeah,
dating is what it is. Yes.
speed dating. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You're welcome, Erin Marie. You're welcome, my
Yeah.
dear. Yeah. All
Well,
right, Florrie.
yeah. What am I? Oh, we got a general reading. Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah. General reading for you, Maureen. All right.
All right.
Thank you. Uh-huh.
What do you need to know? What does Marie need to know? 14.
Pull from a different deck here. Mm. This deck has been screaming at me and saying, pick me, pick me. All right.
Okay.
Let's see what we got.
Let's just see here. I'm gonna. One 407 foundation 7. And you think?
All right, Maureen. Let's see what we got. Got a message. All right, so Maureen, there's something about your Akashic records that comes straight up for me here. I got this different deck here that was calling to me. It says to review some of your past lives. And I don't know if you have been able to do that, let's say with Diana and Linda de Gonzalez and some of the other readers that do that. But I get here that this is going to bring you some interesting and helpful revelations as to why certain things show up in your life now or why you're interested in certain things that you might have been interested in prior life. The next one I get is that you are protected. You are protected no matter what. I love this. It says, make sure you always keep your boundaries because and if the angels aren't telling you and whispering in your ear, make sure you keep your boundaries because they are there to protect you. You can call them in anytime. And the final one I get is, as I recognize the divine within me, I move forward on my spiritual path. Today, I honor my needs, observe my inner world, and maintain a positive attitude. I trust in my inner strength and abilities, and I grow each day knowing that God's opinion of me is what matters most. And I love this because it's a beautiful picture. And there you are, standing sort of over the clouds. So I love this. It's a very spiritual reading for you, dear. Thank you.
Okay. I went for my page. I went for a page number.
Okay,
I went,
good.
and so I came up with this image here of but this is essentially, it's this image here
Oh,
of
okay.
of the crucifixion. And so
Hmm.
in a sense that what in this sense of in needing to let go of body things of the body, things, this nature of that you have here. And that, see, that the if we taking these images and we're not looking at them as like this is Jesus, but we're looking at this as you.
Okay.
And Jesus, the experience of Jesus is your experience. And so this is my Christian
Some
heresy
suffering.
coming out right now,
Yeah. Yeah.
and my heretical Christian thoughts. And then so what sits at the end of this is this, and this is the ascension of one's soul into a place of divinity. It is
Wow. Yeah.
it's the same sense of the judgment card, the
Hmm.
of the of you're coming up out of the graves, and coming up out of the graves, and you've left all of this stuff behind.
Behind. Yeah.
And so this is in a sense of what spirit is asking is a transformative experience. And so that
Hmm.
this is where you need to go, is
Yeah.
in this sense of ascending, of coming out of spirit and then coming back into the body.
Yeah.
But to get
Wow.
there, this has to
Yeah.
happen first.
That has to. Well, she's done a lot of suffering. Honestly, she has had
Yeah.
a lot. So she said that she also knows that she was an abbess in the past life in Ireland. And I find that fascinating that you decided to pick those images. That's very,
And
very telling. Yeah.
and so the numbers that make up the page of 1407
Hmm.
is 1, making a new beginning.
Uh-huh.
4 is the building of your foundations. But if we just take a look at the number 0, zeros oftentimes is ignored, but 0 in being a sense of infinite possibilities,
Yes.
of
Yes.
that there is infinite possibilities there. And then the number 7 of spending time thinking and connecting to divine realm, being in a contemplative state. Think
Yeah.
of the hermit, of
Mm.
looking at that lantern, and looking at this light that
Yeah.
burns with neither wick nor fuel. This
Hmm.
light, which is this
Right.
this thing of the word that is written on your heart, this
Mm.
word that is you, this
Wonderful.
aspect of yourself.
Hmm.
And then the totality of that is those numbers added together is 3, and thinking of self-expression and re-expressing yourself,
Uh-huh.
or being recreated.
Hmm. And
and
it's the
and so it's
Trinity,
sort of
Father, Son, and Holy
yeah,
Ghost. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And so
Uh,
letting go of the past and embracing the triumph of whatever that means to you.
yeah. Wow. That's cool. Everybody liked that one. That's really cool. Thanks, Bill. All right, we got one more. We're almost done
One
here
more.
tonight or today. So let's see. We have Aileen. Does my very near future grandchild hear me each morning when I talk to baby? Oh, yes.
Mm.
Absolutely. Let's see what I can guarantee it. You know what else they love is music. And I have
So,
to tell you something, Aileen, when I was pregnant with my son, my daughter always talked to my stomach, always. And when he was born, she came in the room and she said, "Hi, Alex." And he turned his head and looked straight at her. He knew her voice. Isn't that cool?
mm,
Yeah.
okay. So
Did you want to answer too? Oh, okay, Linda,
Well,
that's all.
I mean, because it sounds like, does the baby hear you?
Mm-hmm.
But what, yeah. Yeah, I wonder about that.
Yeah. I
Hmm.
got one card. I only needed to pull one card, and it says a gift from life. Life offers you abundant proof of the universe of love every day. Angels are sent to guide you, bring divine messages to help you navigate, whether through words spoken or written. I will listen closely, knowing each message is a gift meant to strengthen my path in love and spirituality. And look at that. I mean, you're the gift. You are the gift because your grandchild is a gift to you, and you are a gift to your grandchild. So, just my thoughts.
Well, I just decided to go with one of these crossword oracles just to see what I could find on it.
All right, that's fine.
So the numerical energy state of your question is that it's sort of a foundational issue. And
Mm-hmm.
so whatever that means, that does your grandchild, it's part of the foundation of your future grandchild that you are talking to. You are working on building the foundation of your grandchild.
Yeah, I love that.
And
Yeah.
the word that kind of popped out is like narration, and you're creating a narrative. That is beginning the narrative of this
Mm-hmm.
child.
Yeah. Wow.
And is this gonna be a boy or a girl?
The baby gets active when music is played. I don't know if she told us whether it
I
was a
mean,
boy or a
because
yeah.
the
Yeah.
the color it came out of as like the color blue. So maybe it'll be a grandson, but maybe that doesn't mean anything at all.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
But and
Yeah.
so the other kind of word that kind of popped out is bus. And so buses move, your grandchild is riding a bus right now, and
Mhm.
is on that ride, and
Uh-huh.
soon the bus is going to reach its destination.
Uh-huh. Oh, it's a surprise. Okay. They
So
didn't want to know. They didn't want to know. Oh, that's
okay,
so
they didn't
exciting.
want to know.
I love that. Yeah.
Hmm.
Huh.
Well, let's see what else. If I just take a card at random.
Uh-huh.
Random is that the most at this here is
Oh,
like
it's healing.
it's about healing, and so this talking every morning to your future grandbaby, and at the very least, it's a very healing experience for
Oh, yeah.
you.
For you and for the baby. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. I love that. I do. I love it. Yeah. I love the name. She says if it's a girl, it will be Violet, and if it's a boy, it will be August. Yeah.
August. That's a nice name.
Yeah, it is a nice name.
Okay.
Well, we've had quite the day here, Bill. It's
Yeah.
right a little after the top of the hour. Yes, Linda, you can go back to you were the first person that we read, so you can go back and listen to it. Yes.
Mhm.
I want to thank you for coming. I want everyone to know that Bill can be found at Tools of Fortune or the 999 show if you're interested in that show. And thank you for being here, Bill. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was good. Yeah, very
Well,
nice. Yeah.
yeah. So on the night, both of those channels are linked together. They are
Okay.
on the home channel page. If you down on 999 show, it's probably more searchable than, but if you go and search it for at Tools
Yeah,
of Fortune,
at Tools of
just
Fortune.
like
Okay.
that, or
Yeah.
if you just go Tools of Fortune altogether, you should be able to find the channel. But there's some people say it's kind of hard to find because newer channels
New
are
channels that happens. Yeah,
kind of
you're right.
harder to find.
Yeah, yeah,
And
that's right. Yeah.
and my handle on the 999 show is 999-WJL-show. And
Uh-huh.
it is a variety show. It's got a bunch of content, and
Wonderful.
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
All
thank
right.
you, everybody. I think my
Well,
lunch
thank
is
you.
ready and I'm going to go eat it. So thanks for being
Yeah.
here and we'll see you later.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bill. All right.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Bye-bye.